Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me. A little while ago I did a giveaway for 2 kabuki brushes for you guys, and in order to enter I asked you guys to write me a few questions that you wanted to know about me so I could do a get to know me video, since you guys always ask me questions and it's harder to reply to them via YouTube than to just do a video and tell you guys whatever it is that you want to know. So I actually have my computer open in front of me and I'm reading all of your questions. I'm not going to answer all of them or I would be here for like 25 years, but I'm just gonna go through it, pick out a couple, and just answer them and tell you guys who asked that question. So I'm excited. I feel like I never realized this, but I've never done a video like this before, and I've never shared that much personal information. So let's see how this goes. So Jamie Gamble asked if you, oh, by the way, I read these questions, but I don't know like which ones I'm answering, so I'm just kind of like going back and forth, so I don't have like a preconceived answer in my head. So Jamie Gamble asked, if you weren't a makeup artist, what would your secondary career choice be? I think in this life, my secondary career choice would be to work for myself and to have my own cosmetic line. I think that would just be amazing. I've loved cosmetics since I was a little girl, and to own my own line would just be incredible. What keeps you up at night? Thoughts or fears? That's also by the same person. I'm going to attribute this to a few nightmares that I have. I sometimes have nightmares where there are snakes around me or in my house or close to me, and I don't know why, but that's been like a recurring nightmare for a very long time that I've had. And sometimes I have those dreams where you sort of like wake up with like a startle, and in the dream you're falling or something like bad's about to happen. So I have those two recurring dreams / nightmares quite a bit. Let's see. Miss Marvel asked, when do you plan on getting married and or having kids? Honestly, if this were up to me, I would already have been married. And as for kids, I don't want to have kids before I'm 30. I'm 25 right now. And I just sort of want to enjoy having a married life for a little while before bringing kids into the picture. So, I mean, obviously I don't know when I'm going to get married, but I would assume that if it's before 30, then I would not have kids immediately. Other than makeup, what are your hobbies or passions? Also by the same person. I love to read. It makes me really happy. And I like all kinds of novels, except nonfiction. I hate nonfiction novels. It's so boring. I like obviously like books for women and books of empowerment and self-help books, but I also like really fun and good books like, say, Girl Boss or like the Shopaholic series. I've read all the Harry Potter books. I love them. I've read all the Hunger Games books. Love that. 50 Shades of Grey. All those big like popular novels. I mean, I love to read, so if it's something that people speak of, I more than likely have read it. Do you earn and spend all your own money, or do your parents help you out? I earn and spend all my own money. I have not had my parents help me out since I was 16, just because I got my first part-time job when I was that young, and I've sort of always earned since then and spent by myself. Of course, like, you know, like they paid my college tuition and things of that nature, and I also do live at home with them, so obviously I don't pay rent or anything of that nature, but as far as shopping is concerned and vacations and things of that nature, I earn and spend by myself. If you could, Dollface Mommy asked, if you could go anywhere in the world for a day, where would it be? Who would you take and why? Ooh, that's a hard one. If I could go anywhere in the world for a day. Honestly, my dream place to go to is Kenya. I love, 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 love seeing animals in their natural habitat. I think it's so interesting because they are so much like humans that I would love to go to Masai Mara for a day and do that safari. And who would I take? I think somebody who would genuinely really enjoy that experience, and so that would probably be my dad, because he loves stuff like that as well. And even my sister, because she's also into that, and I think that we would really truly appreciate the beauty of something like that. Just these animals that you don't ever like see in normal life. Like you don't go to your backyard and see a lion. So I mean, I love stuff like that. I love zoos. I love all that kind of stuff. So that is probably what it would be. What thing, animal, or insect are you terrified of? This is by Jackal L. I hope I'm saying this right. What thing animal or insect? I think it would have to be reptiles. Like snakes is definitely number one on that list. Spiders I can do. I'm not a huge fan, but I think snakes is the number one thing that frightens me. Like really, really frightens me. Okay, Chance F asked, what makes talking in front of the camera comfortable for you? Honestly, I'm a very quiet, silent person, and I think that talking in front of the camera just feels like I'm talking to you guys because I know usernames at this point. I sort of like recognize people's names now, and it almost feels like I'm talking to my friends, and so that doesn't make me uncomfortable at all. So I don't know, I don't think it was ever uncomfortable to me to begin with, and I'm not sure why, but I mean, I do it in the solitude of my bedroom. It's away from everything. It's away from everybody. It's just, I mean, it's a quiet, comfortable place. Let's see. What are your future goals and milestones for your YouTube career? This is also by the same person. I think that if I could have my way, I would do this for the rest of my life and make this 100% a full-time business. It's something that obviously is able to sustain me. And I guess that would come with working for major brands through campaigns and collaborations and things of that nature. So that would be my my future goal or milestone for my YouTube career. Okay, Vasanthi Singh asked, where were you born or where did you come from? I was born in Bombay, India, and I lived there for 10 years. And then that's when I moved to Atlanta, and I've been there ever since. When did you know you want to become a makeup artist? I have always really loved makeup. I think that since I was like 4 or 5, I've had a fascination with beautiful women. Like I've always just, as a little girl, I always used to wonder, like, how do people look so gorgeous? Like, they wear the best clothes and their faces look perfect and they're slim and they're trim, and like I always sort of like wanted to be like that, like since I was a little girl. And as such, I realized that makeup helps you to look a certain way and to look in your eyes more beautiful. And I think that I realized at a really young age, strangely enough. But I think that I only started to realize I wanted to do that when I was in college, and I did a little bit of modeling on the side, and one of my makeup artists who I had for a particular shoot was incredible, and he would always tell me, like, you know so much about makeup, how come you don't do this? And it's because I was always that person who would ask him 5,000 questions about makeup, like, how do you do this, how do you do that? And he was just like, this is what you should be doing because this is something that you just get. And he gave me that confidence to actually take this to the next level, because I don't think without having heard those words from him that I would have done it. Okay, then Donna Laz asked, at what age did you start wearing makeup? I started to wear makeup pretty young, to be honest, but like really weird stuff. I think when I was 10, I was into those like glittery lip glosses, which now when I look at pictures, it looks so hideous. And then I remember a little bit after that, so maybe like 11 or 12, I started to get into that phase of where like people would wear gel pens on their eyes, like a blue stripe across, and it was like the coolest thing. So I mean, that's kind of like how I started off into it and how I thought it was like so cool. And now if you like look back at pictures, it's just, ugh, like why did we do that? What inspired you, or who inspired you to make YouTube videos? Honestly, it's Judy time here on YouTube. I don't know her personally, but it was her videos and me watching her that made me realize that I could do this too. And I loved her simplicity, and I loved how sweet she was, and how she just seemed like a normal girl. And so I was like, okay, this is what I need to do as well. So I like literally watched every single one of her videos and then got the confidence to do it. And I would wait for her to post new videos every couple of days. When she would, it would just make me so happy. And I just realized that it's something that I could do. So I got my inspiration from her. Then, okay, so Pammer25 asked, I know you're a makeup artist, but do you have your own shop or work for a company? No, not anymore. I work for myself. Then she also asked, how do you stay current in all the new trends in makeup and fashion? Well, I think that fashion trends are a little bit more varied than makeup trends. I think makeup, I think there's certain things that just happen in terms of seasons when you're talking about makeup. Like winter is about matte skin. It's about having that like powdered look. Summer is about dewiness, and I think it's just because of the season, but as such, makeup trends are never things that you really see a lot of. Like, whatever you see in runway shows and whatnot are never things that you really see normal people wear. So I really want to say like makeup trends are not as big and as easily definable as fashion trends. And I just sort of, I don't really know where I learn about my makeup trends. I just sort of see pictures, read magazines, watch TV shows, and kind of learn through that. And as far as fashion is concerned, I always like research fashion trends. That's something that I really love to do, and I always have. And then I think you just sort of see what people are wearing, and you know, like then you could like sort of put two and two together with what you were researching and what people are actually wearing it, and then you just make it your own. Okay, Sahana Ranguni asked, dead or alive, if you had a chance to do makeup on anyone famous, who would it be and why? That is so easy for me. It would be Kim Kardashian, hands down. I think that she literally has a perfect face. She's beautiful, and I feel like she's somebody who you can't even, like, I don't know how you could make her look bad. She has perfect features, high cheekbones, big eyes, small nose, big lips. It's like, it's just perfect. So, I mean, I would love, love, love to do makeup on her. That would be a dream come true. Let's see, what else? Janet Khan asked, do you see yourself getting married in the next few years? Yes, I definitely do. Then she also asked, what would you say would be your top 3 strengths and weaknesses? Ooh, that's an interview type question. I think my top 3 strengths would be, I think that I'm really hardworking. I know that, actually. Like, when I have to get something done, like, I stop at nothing and will get done 100%. Another strength is that I don't really care about peer pressure, and I've never been somebody who has to follow what everybody else is doing to be happy. Like, I was, like, you know, when I even, like, had my first drink, an alcoholic drink, it was so much later than everybody else had. I've always sort of been really, like, stuck to what I really believe in, and I've never had a hard time saying no. Like, if I don't want to do something, it's never been difficult for me to say no. So I think that's a good thing, because it kept me out of trouble. And then I think another strength of mine would be, I think another strength of mine would be judgment of character. I think that it's really easy for me to understand what a person's up to and what they're really about, because my gut feeling tends to always be correct in those situations, and that has also saved me a lot of grief. I think I've been able to cut the bullshit a lot faster. I've been able to decide who I really want in my life and who isn't really worth it. And then as far as weaknesses, I think that sometimes I'm able to forgive people for things that they don't really deserve to be forgiven for. And I think that's just my soft spot. If I really like somebody, you know, not just like in a romantic relationship, but even as a friend, it's very difficult for me to let go. And I think that even if the person steamrolls me and does something awful, unless I'm really, really, really just done, I feel like I just keep taking the crap, and that's something that I need to learn from. Oh, another weakness would be, I think that I'm too blunt sometimes. I've heard that a lot from people, and I don't mean to be that way. It's just that it's really difficult for me to just say crap to make people happy. It's really difficult for me to be someone that I'm not. So if something doesn't make me happy, and if something doesn't make sense to me, I can't keep that inside. Like, I can't just pretend and be like, oh, it's all great, it's all fine. Like, I'm definitely the type of person who will speak up and be like, okay, this is not okay. This is, like, not okay at all. This is what we're doing. And that has actually gotten me into quite a bit of trouble in my life. Another weakness. Oh, this is something that oh my god, if these people are watching this video, then I know everyone's going to be like, yes. I think that I sometimes don't have faith in people, and that I don't always see the good in someone for certain situations. I think that I always like run and think of the worst case situation, as opposed to that person might have just forgotten, they might not have done it intentionally, and I sort of just like think like, okay, this person's so crappy because of what they did, without really thinking of the other end of the spectrum. So I think I need to stop forming a judgment and opinion really quick, I think. I think I'm gonna do like 2 more questions. What is one beauty product you cannot live without? That is so simple. That is my MAC SPF 50 primer, because my skin is so oily usually, and this is the only primer I've ever used my entire life that I can say is just amazing. I've used it, I would say, about 5 years now, and I absolutely love it. It's incredible. And then Okay, Alia Khan asks, does your family talk about your marriage? It's definitely an Indian cultural thing. Yes, they do, but I'm also very lucky that my parents are not very conservative and they're not very strict and they're not people who take this to the next level. I think that they want me to get married because they realize that I want to wait until I have kids, I want to enjoy my married life and that sort of thing, but they would never push me into marrying somebody. They would never, you know, make me settle down with somebody that I didn't actually care for. And I think that I'm really blessed because I can tell my parents what I really feel and what I really want, and even if it might be hard for them to accept, I think that eventually they would come around because we had that relationship and they realize that I'm not, you know, I'm not silly and I'm going to make the best decision with all the information that I have available and do what's right for me. So they talk about it, but it's never something like, hey, what are you doing? Why aren't you figuring this out? Do this, do this, do this. Like, they're not like that at all. So they talk about it, of course. It's just, it's a dream, I think, of any parent to see their kids married and see them happy and settled. So they obviously talk about it, but they definitely don't force me to do anything that I don't want to do. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope this video answered all of your questions. And I have so many more. I feel like I only answered like 7 or 8, but these are long answers. So maybe I will go ahead and do some of the others in a part 2 video. So if you guys have enjoyed this video and thought of any other question, post down below in this video. And if you guys want to see part 2, then let me know. Thanks guys. Bye.